Hey there, dream chasers and passion pursuers. Welcome to the Passion to Purpose podcast, where we explore the incredible journeys of individuals who have turned their passions into successful businesses, nonprofits, movements, and side hustles. I'm Misha, your host, with over 20 years experience in the nonprofit sector, experience as a licensed real estate agent and mortgage loan originator. I've had the privilege of working with so many amazing people who have followed their hearts and changed the world. And now I'm bringing their stories to you. Jeanine started her career as an Abe Oldman Songwriters Hall of Fame Award winner, Grammy-nominated songwriter and singer. After 3 record deals didn't pan out, she decided to expand her skills. In addition to her music, she's been a working spiritual practitioner for the past 10 years. Jeanine's entire life is led by passion. She is grateful that every day she gets to do exactly what she loves. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Jeanine. We are so excited to hear about your passion-filled pursuits and learn a little bit more about your experience and your journey along the way. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure. So I have 2 businesses. I am first and foremost a songwriter. I have been professionally writing songs since 2002. I have been signed 3 times. I have the experience of writing on a Grammy-nominated album that has gone platinum a few times, I believe. I have my most recent song was I wrote the intro to AZ's Do or Die 2 album with him and Idris Elba. And I am an avid advocate for songwriters who believe that they should be paid. I believe in getting my royalty checks. I've been getting it for 20 years. So that might be why I don't have as much business, because you really can't play with me on that aspect. And it does take a toll on you, but I am a songwriter and an artist. And I am also a spiritual practitioner. The spiritual practitioner part of my life came up about 10 years ago. I've been doing this professionally for 10 years now. And I love that too. I read tarot cards. I know about herbs and energizing your life for manifestation, root work, and all things related to African folk magic. What I do.
Wow, you are a woman of many, many, many talents. Both of those things are very different. What about the 2 of those things really stoked your passion?
What brought the passion for me with music, because that came first. Music, I was in college, and some people call college the best years of their life. I would say that's partially true for me. Partially. I really wasn't much of a student. Some people got these really good grades. That wasn't me. My grades were, coincidentally, my company is called Sorority Records, and I couldn't pledge a sorority because I didn't have good grades. So I thought it was really cool, but grades never really did it for me. But what did it for me was one day I was riding in the car with 2 choir members, one of which was a young lady by the name of Shamora Crawford, very talented songwriter who is still doing her thing in the music industry. And she told me that I had a radio-friendly voice and that she wanted to record with me. I was like, radio-friendly? Never thought of that. I went to record with her, and I decided that day, this is it. This is part of my life. This is something that I'm doing this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do this. And so I did. Once I left school, I ran off to New York with a friend of mine, Dana Todd, because I always give credit where credit is due. And we went to this place called the 5 Spot, and I was going to sing on the open mic. It's where all the neo soul artists hung out. I'm talking about the Roots, God, Erykah Badu, Bilal, Common, like all of the Soulquarians, that's where they were. And on the night that I was supposed to go, I signed up, and then Jasmine Sullivan walks in. And so they're like, oh, we got to let her sing. I was like, I know you do. Because I heard her sing. I said, well, now I understand. So I went outside, and there was an ice cream truck parked outside. And there was this guy manning the ice cream truck named Yamin. And I'm using these names because this is a real story. These are real people that can be looked up and verified. So Yamin was like, oh, okay, cute or whatever. You got your red dress on with your red rose in your hair. What you doing? I said, I'm about to get on here and sing on this ice cream truck. He was like, okay, he gave me the mic, and I started singing. And so this guy named Anthony Hamilton tried to get my attention, but I probably had my eyes closed, and I really wasn't paying attention because I was so focused on delivering this record, and I was so excited to be out of town. And he went to my friend Dana, and he was like, hey, who is that? That's your friend? Tell her I want to meet her. I want to sing with her. And so okay, told me this, but we were on our way to the next open mic. And so I saw him singing at the open mic, and then I sang, and it was like a really cool moment. And it changed my life forever because he said, hey, why don't you and your friends come to New York with me? And I said, okay, fine. I ended up staying in New York, me and Dana, and I think it was like 3 of us at the time. The guy that wrote with us, he was like, y'all crazy. He left. But Dana ended up being in some Floetry videos and taking her modeling career to the next level. I ended up working with Anne and participating in that album and basically meeting people who have carried me through my entire career. Even the most recent opportunity that I got to write on that AZ album came from somebody that I met that weekend that I ended up going to Philadelphia and then ending up in New York. So it all worked together for me to follow my passion. I call myself ignorance on fire. I really didn't know anything about music. I definitely didn't know any etiquette. I didn't know anything about fame. I didn't know anything about money. All I knew was I had this CD of songs that I worked really hard on that I wrote that I felt deserved to be heard. So that's kind of what did it for me. Just being passionate enough to say, okay, I know my broke down. Oh, and when I got in the car with Dana, I didn't have any money. I had $2, and I had an Orange Crush and some Swedish Fish. And I threw the change out of the window so that I could tell this story like this right now. Because it makes it, isn't that a much better story than, yeah, I saved up. I didn't save up nothing. I didn't have nothing. I never had a cell phone. I had nothing. And from nothing, I'm able to pay my bills to this day because I still get royalty checks every month, paying my bills from just that decision at that moment.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I will pivot into, you mentioned a lot about relationships, right? I don't know if everybody understands the value of not just being in the right place at the right time, but nurturing relationships. Can you just a little bit on how important relationship building has been for you in all of your pursuits?
My perspective might be a little bit different. All of my relationships that I met in the music and industry did not pan out. I don't think that anybody has any hard feelings for me, but I'm definitely not in touch with some of those people. But that is a seasonal thing. I think the best thing you can do in a relationship is come to the relationship from a pure and authentic place. And one thing I did with everybody I met, I was myself. I was pure. I was authentic. I told them my truth, whatever it was at the time. So even though the relationships may not be, we probably don't talk every day. We probably don't talk for years, but I bet you when they see me, they love me because they're going to get the same person that they met the day that they met me, and all the wonderful times, all the wonderful conversations, all the late studio. Nothing about me has changed. I have evolved, but that authenticity, that purity, that sincerity is still there. And that's what they loved about me then. And that's what they love about me now, whether they see me and talk to me or not. That's what they get. So I think the best thing to handle relationships is from an authentic place. Because to be honest, when you are trying to achieve your life goals, everybody that you start out with, they're not coming with you. They are not, they to the Grammys at the same time that you do. You may not show up for another 10, 15, hell, 20, 24, 25, who knows? However many years it may take for you to reach your personal summit, you may not get there at the same time with them, and they may not ride in the same car. They might not take the same roads that you have, but it's your journey. So I would say that instead of worrying about holding on to relationships with people, you should with them authentically and honestly. But the biggest relationship that you have to maintain is the one with yourself. Can you live with yourself and the decisions that you've made? Can you go to sleep at night? Are you who you are and what you needed to do at the time? So no, I don't think burn bridges. Maybe I kind of left them on some bridges, but burn them, I don't know. I may be crazy, but was that crazy authentic? Yes, it was. Did I mean every single word? Yes, I did. I meant every word. And does that mean that I have to hate this person or they have to hate me? No. Does it mean that we are going to talk every day? No.
Right.
Doesn't mean that even after I see them have a wonderful union that they're going to come back into my life. Probably not. But I know that if given the opportunity for them to speak on me, they would have nothing but praise for my authenticity and my talent, because that will never go away.
Amen. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you found when starting out specifically, and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
The biggest challenge I had, money, when I started out doing music. Artists need money. So if you don't have any money, you have to use other currency. And sometimes that currency looks like, okay, this person, so I'm going to go over here with this person, and this person is going to bring me over here to you, and on the strength of their word, you're going to let me record. And that's kind of what happened. On the strength of my relationships at the beginning, I was able to get high quality recordings with no money. I was able to get pictures with no money, videos with no money. It's a savvy person to figure something out, because like I said, currency, what is currency? It's the exchange of something. It's the barter system. So a lot of times I had to rely on the barter system, and I had to rely on my contacts and my friendships to get things done. But I think that's the biggest obstacle when you're an artist. Now, as a spiritual practitioner, it's being able to be visibility. It's hard when you are doing great work and nobody knows about it. And how do you tell people about it? You either have a large network of people that you can pull from that will tell people about what you're doing, or you will link up with a larger entity that will do your promotion for you, which means that you have to give up some money. But either way it goes, you can't get the need for currency, money, or relationships when you're starting out a business. You have to have something of value to offer in order to get anything in return.
Absolutely. I mean, I came about real estate and probably a bunch of other professions as well. It's a profession that does not come with a salary in most cases. And so you get what you are able to put in financially or through relationships and doing other currency. So I can totally relate to that. Did want to go back to how you got into being a spiritual practitioner, right? So what ignited that passion? How did you come into that
I
kind of
started
work?
mystery school in 2009, the best mystery school in the planet, on the best mystery teachers, priestess and priest planet, and best love coaches on the planet. And so I was in there, a mystery school, for other reasons. I was in a relationship at the time that wasn't working out, so I was trying to figure that out. And I was also trying to figure out myself. I was in that critical space between the ages of 27 and 35. And if you know anything about that, you know that that is the time where you have to decide what kind of life you want to live, and you have to fight like hell to have it. So I said, hey, I want to do music, but since I need money, I want a profession that will allow me to work on my music, but not be so taxed and drained, and let me work remotely or give me a bunch of money at once so that I can focus on my music and still not be drained. And I ended up going to mystery school. And in mystery school, I still didn't know that I was going to be a spiritual practitioner. I just knew that this was something that really interested me and really helped me transition out of that relationship that was no longer serving me. So one day I was at my apprenticeship, which was amazing. And I met this lady, and, it was a lot of them were in the wisdom arts that would always come around. I met this lady, and she would come around. I was like, dang, like, you seem to have a lot of free time. Now, not to mention the people that I was working with, they had a lot of free time too, but they ran the place. And I was like, well, I definitely don't want to run a school. I don't know about that. I'm in the school, but I don't know if I want to do that. So when I saw this other lady, I said, what are you doing? Like, how are you always have money. You're driving around, you're out all day. Anytime you want to hang out, you go, what do you do? And she said, oh, I'm a psychic. I said, a what? She said she's a psychic. And she gave me my first, and she was like, well, you're in school. She gave me my first deck of cards, and she showed me how to use them. And I said, you kidding, where do you work? And she told me where she worked. I was like, what? Yeah. So after I got good, I started working for agencies, and behold, I kept at it, and here I am today because somebody told me what they did, and I admired her lifestyle. Now, mind you, I was already in mystery school, so it's not like I said, oh, this is really cool, I want to do that, what she's doing. I was already learning it. I just didn't, I was doing it for my personal satisfaction. It wasn't because I thought that I was going to do that for a living, but it worked out, and here I am. That's what I do every day.
Awesome. Can you share a specific instance or a time when you had to push past fear or uncertainty in either of your pursuits
I would say
to continue
I have
going?
to push past fear all the time when I was doing music, because many a nights back in the day, I had to walk through alleys. New York doesn't have any alleys. I had to walk down the streets of Brooklyn at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I would take cabs off of a train way out in Queens to record. And I had to get over it. I had to just know that I was protected. I can get on the subway. Many times I got on the New York subway. One time I got on the subway, I believe somebody was on there smoking crack. Okay, this poor soul was basically naked and smoking crack. And I was like, well, hey, I got to do. When it comes to being a spiritual practitioner, I have to understand that spirituality is a very broad place. So people will call me and they will want to talk about things that couldn't be considered scary. Deceased loved ones, being stalked by spirits, ghosts, you name it, somebody called me about it. And I have to get over any prejudice or preconceived notions that I have about something that somebody else is going through, because this is what I signed up for. So I've lost the fear of the unknown because I work in a space that is all about the unknown. So that's, I constantly, every day, push past my limits. I have to say, okay, so yesterday you didn't talk about this. Well, surprise, surprise. Somebody is calling you an issue that's very important to them. And since you signed up to help people with their spiritual issues, I guess you are going to help this person now. So that's basically what I had to push past, the fear of what my religion told me, being a spiritual practitioner and tarot cards and crystals and spiritual work and being a Jezebel. Yes, indeed. All of that. I had to push past it because it's my life. And ultimately, I know that whatever I allow on earth will be allowed in heaven, and whatever I bind on earth will be bound in heaven. So if I am given mission by my higher self and God to do this, God is allowing it, I can do it. So why should I be scared of what somebody else is telling me that has never walked a day in my shoes? I can't be scared of it. I have to push forward with what I know to be true and the laws that govern my life that I actually created between the ages of 27 and 35. So I push past fear, knowing that I have to honor my calling. And either I believe my prayers are effective or not. Either I believe that my grandmother's prayers worked or not. Either I believe what I was told about the Bible or not. Either you believe it or you don't. And so if you say you believe something and you're scared, do you really believe it? No. So I can't because of my beliefs.
Absolutely. And I find that as even with myself, right, when you are setting out into the world and deciding what you want to be, a lot of that is dictated by religion, by your grandparents, by your mom, your dad. And sometimes we can be to that because we won't pursue certain things because it's anti whatever we were taught that we should be interested in pursuing. What advice would you give Jeanine at 20
I would
about
say,
pursuing her passions?
get better grades. Get better grades. Also would tell her, get into music sooner. Go to the studio immediately. Record more. Participate in things that that are related to music, no matter what. And I would also say, if you can't get your grades together, just leave now, because you still gonna have to pay for it. So stop now and go do what you're good at. Do it. Say, start your skincare routine. I would say, listen here, young lady, get your nails done, get your hair did. All right, beauty is currency. Don't have a glow up at 40 like I did. Glow up the whole time. I think, that is something that I was younger. I didn't really put too much on it. I think I was naturally cute. I was really into, actually, that's not true. My freshman year, I wore heels every day and my toes looked like this for like 10 years. So it took a long time to get it together, but I found a happy medium. But I would say definitely intelligence and beauty will take you further than your personality. So focus on intelligence and beauty. Even if you have a bad personality, if you cute and you smart, you'll get further.
All right. Since music and becoming a spiritual practitioner, if you can recall the most rewarding experience that you've had since, what would that be? You could, cover both, or if it ties both of the things together, tell us about that.
Wow. I think the most rewarding experience was when I was in Christchurch, New Zealand, and I was performing. I was on tour. And I got to perform my original songs. And the only reason I got to record my songs is because I was sitting next to somebody on the plane who told the CEO of my label to let me sing, because I was sitting there talking, being authentic, being myself. And so this person happened to be part of whatever was going on. They said, well, yeah, you could do it. I said, well, tell him that, because I need to be able to do this. You need to tell this person. So I managed to maneuver and get that going. And I think it was really rewarding singing my songs and seeing the natural reaction of a crowd that had never heard my music before. It was really cool. They started dancing. That was my song called Thirsty, which is not on streaming platforms anymore, but it'll be up eventually. And they started dancing. They started doing this really cool dance. I was like, well, this is really cool. I really like seeing how people respond to my music. Another really rewarding thing for me is when I'm able to help someone in their life and they come back and tell me, what, your predictions were true. This happened. I got married. You told me I would be married 4 years. I got married 3.5 years in. I'm still married. I love my husband. It's cool. I appreciate it. Come back and tell me, I didn't like, turns out you were right. I guess I like being told I'm right. I like that. But really, the rewarding part of my journey is creating that moment when it's just me and my track and my pen and my notebook and the song comes together and I get to record a little demo on my computer or my phone. I am excited. So I get excited by a lot of different things. I get excited when people tell me they love my song. I get excited when I hear the song after I recorded it on my pre-record studio and I go to a big studio and I hear that. I love that. I had a rewarding in mystery school, just learning from people, learning about ways that energy is transferred. I learned so much about human relationships and human nature. I mean, I love creating creative people and I love being around very intelligent people. And I think in order to be spiritual, that's literally quantum science. Coincidentally, I was signed to a label named Quantum. It's funny how my whole life threads together. But yeah, I think that creative process, and I enjoy learning, and I enjoy the moment where there is nothing and it turns into something. There's no idea, no words, no lyrics, no nothing, and then it turns into something. Or somebody calls me and they're trying to figure out what they need to do, and out of nothing and nowhere, ideas come and they're able to fix their situation and come back and tell me that it worked out for them. So basically, the art of creation and quantum physics is really what gets me going. I love those things.
Awesome. What advice would you give who is hesitant to take the first step in pursuing their passion?
Well, I would tell a person who is hesitant that either you are going to be on your agenda or you are going to be on somebody else's agenda. You are either going to step up to the plate and ask for what you want, or you're going to get what is left after everybody else takes what they want. You will either live a life that you love, or you will help somebody else live the life that they love. But it's really 100% up to you. You create your life. There's absolutely no reason for you to not do it, because the time is going to pass anyway. There's no such thing as too old. There's no such thing as too young. It only matters if you have the capacity to do it, then you need to do it. Because if you don't do it, you'll watch somebody else do it and wish you had. So your choice is either live the life that you love, or help somebody else live the life that they love. And often that could be the boss that you've never met, that has you working long hours and paying for his yacht that you'll never be able to ride on, because you decided that you didn't want to step out on faith and create a life that you enjoy. There is nothing better than waking up slowly. I only rush out of the house when I have a nail, lash, or a hair appointment, or a facial. That's it. If I'm not going to get my nails done, if I'm not going to do some sort of beauty maintenance, then I'm in the bed, child, because I don't have to do anything. And that's my design, because I decided between the ages of 27 and 35 that lifestyle of rushing and hustling, bustling wasn't for me. The only rushing I'm doing is I'm going to rush to the living room to pick up my cards and cut this line on, because I have a client that has booked me, and I'm going to make myself available for that. But rush hour, no indeed. No indeed. PTO, what the hell? No, it's no PTO. I'm not coming in today. My nail is chipped, and I gotta go handle it. So that's how I feel. Tell anybody that the most rewarding thing you could do for yourself is take control of your time and take control of the way that you earn your money. Because even if you are not rich, you can feel rich by having control of your time. Time is a valuable currency, and you can always put yourself at the right place at the right time if you control your time. But if you have no control of your time and you're a music artist and somebody is telling you, no, you have to be at work. Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to be on 43rd and Cottage. Well, you know what? I'm going to go over to 43rd and Cottage because I need to go holler at J&B, and I'm going to do what I do so I can be there. And whether they talk to me or not, it's up to me. But at least I'm in the building because I have control of my time. You give yourself more of an opportunity when you have control of your time. So that's if you have dreams, get control of your time and do what you need to do to make yourself visible. Nobody hears trees that fall in the woods. So do what you need to do. All right. Now, maybe somebody will discover it later and it might be, wow, this was really excellent. Look at it. Well, I've done it. But the fact of the matter is, the only way anything is going to happen for you is if you make it happen. You create your life.
Right. Amen to that. So what are your future goals, aspirations? What is going on with Sorority Records? What's coming up in the near and distant future for you?
My main goal has always world domination. And that has not gone away just because I say it every day. It doesn't go away. But world domination to me is global acknowledgement, my talents and my contributions to culture. So that's always afoot, no matter what. World domination is always afoot. I am creating a new album. I have been recording new songs. I've been working on my videos. I've also been, really getting into creating my image. I think that's one thing that I never really considered at any point in my career. I never considered my image because I thought, well, the songs are good. Well, maybe that's not enough. So cartoons and animations, and I'm still going to incorporate anime, but I really have decided to devote a lot of my time to what is this avatar that I present to the world? What does this new, what does she drink? What does she eat? How does she sleep? What does she wear? How does she spend her? That is, I'm creating me. The biggest project I've ever worked on is me. I am also working on my business. I have a group online called the Real Chocolate Mafia. If you're watching this and you want to join, just type in the Real Chocolate Mafia. It's a private group. And sometimes I share my music. Sometimes I share spiritual workings. all the time, I'm sharing my authentic self, and I welcome you into the space if you want to share more of your authentic self. That's really what it's about, sharing and being true to yourself. That's what I'm doing. Is expected, I would say, by March of 2025, and definitely always be something out for Christmas, because I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. Here I did a video, didn't release. Maybe I'll release that video this year. I don't know. But I am always working on creating new things that did not exist before I put pen to paper.
Awesome. So you told us how to find the Real Chocolate Mafia. How do we support all of your work? Where
You
can we
can find
find
me
you?
on Instagram at Sorority Records, TikTok, Sorority Records, website, sororityrecords.com, and Facebook, Sorority Records 1. Or if you put in Sorority Records, you'll find my personal page, and there's a link to my music page right there, Sorority Records. If you would like a reading, you can go to confidentialtarot.com, and you can send me a message or just push the button and see if I answer. If I'm available, I'll take your call right then and there. But if I'm not, then you need to send me a message through Sorority Records that you're trying to get a reading. SororityRecords.com, just send a message and I'll get it. Or you could email me at CEO@SororityRecords.com and let me know, hey, you either want to collaborate with me on music, or you want to collaborate with me, or there's no collaboration for the readings. You either want a reading or you don't. I don't accept collaboration for Spiritual. We're not doing this together. I will give you a reading and that's it. But if you want to do that, you can email me at CEO@SororityRecords.com or confidentialtarot.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your passions with us. I'm sure the audience is going to get a wealth of information and gems. There were so many dropped that I'm receiving. Thank you. And so, yeah, we'll be looking for more to come in the spring, and I'm sure we will all be following you at Sorority Records on all of the social platforms. And those of us who would like to reach out for a reading will do that through Sorority Records as well.
My pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.